what's up, gang? Hey, so listen, right? So bring y'all another reaction video. Today we're reacting to, I guess Obama was on Michelle's podcast talking about their divorce rumors and everything, but it's catching headlines about he made a statement about raising boys and about how boys should be raised by different perspectives. Now, I didn't watch the video. I seen where it was. This is an hour and 20 long podcast. You guys can go watch it on Michelle's YouTube. But I skipped to the part to where people told me to watch, and I'm going to react to what Barack Obama said. If you want more reactions, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on all my socials, which would be right here. Follow me on my socials. But let's get into this, and we're going to talk about it.
Many mothers are parenting alone, which is a huge problem. I think Scott Galloway, there are other researchers out there who say that one of the challenges that boys face is that there just aren't enough men in their lives. You know, the men have disappeared, whether through divorce or fatherhood. There are small numbers of male teachers in high schools. Boys are growing up in an education system where they're mostly surrounded by women.
Right.
Barack, you've talked about the fact that the entire education system isn't even designed to recognize boys and what they need. So, what do we say to Emma? Because again, we don't know whether she's parenting alone or whether she has a husband. But I do think that mothers struggle to figure out what do their sons need. And so they wind up operating out of their own fears and their own instincts, which is to love unconditionally.
I'm going to attack her point with this, chat. I think what we as society don't understand is, yes, we understand that moms are raising more boys now. We get that. The guys are failing right now. The guys, the men right now are being men. They're being boys. They're not raising their kids. They're not being fathers to their kids. We understand that. But that's the sickening part about it, because every little child, whether it's a little girl, a little boy, they need a man in their life. A woman can't teach a boy to be a man. It just can't happen. She can raise him. She can raise him ethically and morally to have values, yes, but she can't teach him certain characteristics that a man can, because she's just simply not a man. And that's where we see a lot of today, where a lot of women are saying, well, there's no real men anymore. A lot of these so-called real men in today's world were raised by women, and they grew up without seeing their dad in the house, so they didn't know what a man's true role was. A woman can't teach a man's role because she's not a man. She doesn't know the role of a man. And I think that's where society is just completely screwed right now. It's just not, it's not right. You know what I'm saying? So I completely kind of agree with what Michelle is saying right here. Like boys are screwed right now. Like it's just not fair.
I think mom was like this. She raised me to be tough because I think she knew what it was like to be a woman. In her mind, she knew what she was preparing me for. The insults, the limitations, the whatever you can think of, the sexism, the biases. So she knew you have to have a mouth. You have to be able to speak up for yourself. With you, she wanted you to be nice so that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't get arrested. But was that who you were? So what do we say to the Emmas of the world? How do we sort of start thinking as a society about helping mothers raise sons, because they're doing it alone, and we're being told that we don't have what it takes to give.
Now, I'm going to say this now. Yeah, a lot of them are doing it alone because a lot of the guys are sorry pieces of shit, but a lot of these mothers aren't allowing the man to be the man. If you know, you know.
Boys all of what they need.
Well, look, I think you started hinting at it. As somebody who was raised by a single mom, not perfectly, but that unconditional love as a start is the right one. Mm-hmm. I do think, though, thinking about raising boys in the same way you're thinking about raising daughters, which is how do you make them good, responsible people who know how to function and know how to understand themselves well enough that they can navigate this really complicated world, and setting high expectations. So there are a lot of these things that apply to boys and girls. I do think that there are some particular issues with boys that as a society we're not addressing.
Well,
I
what-
do
what are-
think
what is that,
as a
Obama?
society, we have to create more structures for boys and men to have guidance, rituals, frameworks, encouragement, to be able to meet a wide range of role models so that whatever their inclinations, they can see a path to success that isn't just sports or money. Making a lot of money, and so that's on all of us together. What I would say to Emma would be, in your community, even if you have a wonderful male partner who's in the house, I think it still would be good to find assets in the community, people in the community, friends in your community, places of worship, community organizations, what have you, where there are a bunch of men who can be sort of elders to boys. And so they're not just looking at one particular role model, but many. And one of the things when Michelle and I first started dating and I'd go over to your guys' house, one of the things I loved was just, seeing all your uncles and your cousins. And there were a bunch of different kinds of men. There were men that were kind of soft-spoken, and then there were men that were loud, and there were men who were engineers, and then there were men who were
Police officers.
or they.
Okay, so he's saying it's good to have different perspectives of men, different type of men, outspoken men that are very soft-spoken, because that particular child may gel with a different man differently. Okay, I get that.
Or they drove, a
jitney
cab.
Yeah.
Right? And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be
like,
everything.
he can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor.
No, we're not going there. No, he's about to do it. He's about to do it. He's about to do the thing. He's about to do the thing, man. Oh, man.
In college. At a time when openly gay folks still weren't outlawed. Who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that.
You
To show.
You need what? You need what? You need what? They need what? They what? They need to be called out? Yes. Yes, I hope that's what you're talking about, Obama. I pray to God that's what you're talking about. I pray that's what you're talking about.
Empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right? So that, I think, is creating that community. I know it's corny, but that's what they need.
And we talk a lot about what we.
So you trying to tell now, my guys? I have nothing against it. I have nothing against the LGBTQ community. I'm telling y'all right now, I don't have nothing against them at all. But I just want to clarify this: what he just said. Basically, Obama, you just said every boy needs a gay mentor. Nah, fam. I can't rock with that, fam. I can't rock with that at all. Nah, bro. I can't rock with that, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. If you have a mentor and he's gay, cool. That is what it is, bro. But I'm not finna sit here and say every child needs a gay mentor. Like, nah, that's just not right. That's just not right. I'm not saying it because I don't like gay people, but it's just like, why does your mentor have to be gay to give you empathy and to be able to show you, like, to call you out on your ignorant stuff? a straight man can do the same. Why he just couldn't say, you know, you need a mentor with empathy and that a person that can call you out and help you see stuff from a different perspective. Like I don't think a person has to be gay for them to show you that. So I don't agree with what he said at all. I'm gonna see what Michelle had to say.
With our mother and father,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know, a lot of times but we really did have a big community of people in our lives.
Right.
I mean, that we don't talk a lot about that on this show. We allude to it, but Craig and I, we grew up in a huge community of extended
Correct.
aunts and uncles and cousins and all types of male
And
role
that helped.
models, which helped in broadening out and filling in where our mother and father were limited.
Mhm. So for Emma, I'm picking up a couple of things. Community, big,
Huge.
not just
A single mom,
a single
mom and
mom
dad.
or mom and dad, but a broad community. And I can appreciate you using our family as an example, but uncles, but not necessarily blood
Mhm.
blood
It doesn't have
uncles,
to be both.
but men who can who can give a kid or kids some contextualization of who their parents are.
Right. And
That's-
also,
And what it
and
means-
can model.
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways to be a responsible, respected, strong man. And you don't have to be rich and you don't have to be
Yeah.
a professional athlete.
And you don't have to go find it on the internet
And-
among
correct.
a group of unclear influences, you know. And this is a thing that parents, Emma has to understand. If her sons aren't getting it,
They'll look for it
they are going
someplace
to
else.
look for it
For it.
because boys need this.
Right.
Whether they think that they're happy playing video games on their own, and we haven't even talked about how the rise in video games has sort of left kids feeling like, well, this is who I am. I'm alone, or I'm interacting through a game virtually, but I don't have any in real life friends. Kids are going to seek out some kind of community.
I'm gonna say this. They do. Having worked around kids and been around kids, they do. If they're not getting it from home, they find a way to get it. But again, to Obama's point, as if I'm a father and I believe in what I believe in, I don't want a gay man mentoring my child. I just don't. Like, and I have nothing against gay people, but I just would prefer him to, get it from me or, somebody else. Like, I'm not finna sit here and like agree with that. Like, I don't think all boys need gay mentors. Like, nah, I'm not. I think they need mentors of good stature, empathy, that could be, that can show them how to be empathetic, that can show them how to be a good boy and raised to be a man. I'm not gonna sit here and say that all boys need gay mentors. Like, nah, that's not true. Nah, not happening. Now let me know how y'all feel about this. You can go watch, like I said, you can go watch the full podcast, an hour and 20 minutes on Michelle's YouTube. But let me know how y'all feel this. Do y'all feel like all boys should have gay mentors? Barack Obama said it. How do y'all feel about that?